Welcome to day 32 of the New Way. Let's look at another temptation. I'll read Matthew 4, 5 through 7. Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered him, "It is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." What is Satan tempting Jesus to do? Just jump off the highest point of the temple and let the angels escort you down and prove to everyone that you are really God's son. So what's wrong with that? Notice that Satan starts out by saying, "If you are the Son of God." Note the if. If you are the Son of God. I believe Satan was asking Jesus if he really believed that God loved him. You see, Jesus and Satan knew that he was headed to the cross. That doesn't sound much like love. Why don't you look out for yourself? Let me show you what real love is all about. Real love would have you escorted by angels, dressed in royal robes, and worshipped by all the people. Can you see the temptation now? One example of this temptation is when Satan attacks in the area of sexual relationship. We often think of this as a teenage problem, but it affects all ages, and God's rules apply to all. God has given us some very wise guidelines concerning dating and sexual relationships inside and outside of marriage. He has said that we should have no sexual relationships outside of marriage. But Satan will tell you that those rules are not good. God must not love you if He asks you to behave this way. God is an old-fashioned killjoy. He will tell you that God does not love you or understand your needs. He will tell you that these guidelines are out of date and not relevant to today's culture. He'll tell you if you want real love, you must follow your heart. And the next thing you know, you've got trouble so out of control, you may not ever escape it until heaven. Your sin can be forgiven, but the consequences may last a lifetime and affect every current and future relationship. God loves you. Don't question God's love. He sent Jesus to tell you how much He loves you and to show you His great love. Let's look at the next temptation. It's found in Matthew 4, 8 through 11. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "All this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve Him only." Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. What was this third temptation? I think this temptation can be summed up with these words: God, I've got a better plan. Jesus had the cross in front of him. Satan offered a better plan. Satan will often tempt us to take shortcuts. We know what God has said. but we just want to insert our own twist. I know you want me to quit my job and go to seminary, but let me just work a couple more years, and then I'll be in a better position to go. I know you said I shouldn't go out with this man, but maybe I can lead him to Jesus. I know you said that I should work with this group, but I don't like the leader, so I'm going to start my own group. Shortcuts, better plans, they may look good, but they always end up bad. God knows what is best, and He desires to direct your path. Again, this is a temptation to choose the ways of this world. Jesus asks us to choose to do things God's way, not the world's way. It was a new way. It was radically different then, and it still is. Is there any area of your life that is not 100% obedient to God? Do you think God is pleased with 99.9%? Well, let me ask you this. Would you be happy drinking a glass of water that only has 0.1% of poison in it? Neither is God satisfied when we are not totally and completely obedient. Why? Because He loves you, and because He knows what is dangerous and what is not good for you. He knows what could kill you. In His service, Dale.